Hello,
I'm Caitlin Powell,
and I'm Kate Butch.
and this is Queers Gone By, the show we talk about nostalgic film, TV, and snacks, and try to work out if that's what made us queer.
Today,
we've
we have
started
made a
videoing
mistake
recently.
doing videos.
It's such an error because it's such a little bop, our intro, and both of us are just like dancing along, and that's what made us queer. Such an error.
We're gonna have to shut our eyes every time we do it.
You know what else was an error though? This fucking film.
Today we're going back again to the land of Oz. It's the classic 1985 film, Return to Oz.
Yes.
I think I've watched this film more than I watched the original.
What?
Yeah,
How many times have you seen it?
a few times. It's been a long time, but I remember there was this. There was like a shopping village near us, about like half an hour's drive. It was a very big treat to go to the shopping village.
What, like a Bista?
A what?
A Bista Village.
I've no idea what that is.
It's like no, it's not
Bicester.
an actual real Bista.
But it's spelt Bicester.
Yes, that's not how a human pronounces it.
That's where all bi people live.
Oh my god, it is.
But
And
yes.
Worcester's where all the wars live.
Oh. And Derbyshire's full of racists.
Absolutely.
And homophobes. They've been in
this
the news being homophobic in Derbyshire.
Oh, I hate that. I recently looked to see if Worcester was having a Black Lives Matter march. It's not. It's not at all. I just discovered a racist Facebook post. That's where that led me.
Buxton had one, and no one fucking told me. And didn't fucking tell. I don't know how people went on it. I didn't see any things, but
God damn.
yeah. So I was a bit sad about that. Anyway, there was a shopping village, and it had like all these different outlets and shit. And side note, they had a Wind in the Willows like exhibition attraction thing.
Ooh.
You could walk around and you could like meet a mole. They also had an olden timey sweet shop, which also sold
I
DVDs.
love those. Okay. You are throwing curveball after curveball at me.
And one of the DVDs they sold was Return to Oz, and like 8-year-old me was like, I'm gay, I need to watch it.
You were like, this sweet shop would not try and hurt me.
So I saved up all my pocket money, because this was back when DVDs were expensive. Do you know what DVD was like? 15 quid?
Yeah.
And this was like 2005? This was 20 years after the film came out.
Mm-hmm.
This DVD had no right to be that expensive.
Yeah.
And I bought it and I watched it, and I had quite a nice time, because I had no like critical thinking skills.
Yeah.
But now Mama's back with a brand new attitude.
Have I said that Chris Fleming, amazing Gale comedian, said that the film Cats is when he first realised he had a critical eye? And went, this could do with some work.
I used to love the video of Cats as well. Oh, what's wrong with me?
Yeah. I remember getting that from the post office. I think I've said this before.
You've said that, and they're kind of on a par, a post office and a sweet shop, for selling DVDs, and the unlikelihood of that. But
what was the early 2000s?
who can say?
Yeah. Well, I'd never seen this. And all I can say, Kate, I didn't realise you'd mislead me like this.
I can only apologise.
I went in hopeful, ready to have fun. Within 3 minutes, I had complaints.
Right, it's a much darker tone than the other one.
I don't have a problem with that.
It's not so much a sequel, for people who haven't seen it.
It's a fanfic.
There's no chirpy musical numbers.
No. Oh, no, there aren't.
No.
That's what it's missing. Well, I don't think that would improve it that much, but...
It's already quite long. It's about 2 hours.
Yes. And my attention span's really bad. I had to take breaks. I started this about 9 in the evening last night, and that was an error. Had to take a lot of breaks. Oh, also, at one point, I let my cat in. She stood on the keyboard and closed the tab, so she knew what was what. Yeah. She was like, I think not.
Shall we get into it?
Yeah, we've just bitched about it but there is some stuff nonsense to say.
There's some...
Wait, let me check how many notes I have. I have 4 pages of notes on this.
Yeah, I have 4 A4 pages.
Yeah. There's a lot to say.
We kick it off with, I think, it's very interesting. They start off with what I'm now deciding is the villain of the first film, which is Dorothy's window.
Okay. Yeah.
And Dorothy's like staring out the window. She's in bed. I think
she's also apparently in space, right? Like the stars are millimeters away from her window. They are so close.
To be fair, this is set in 1899, so there's no pollution just yet.
You know what?
So she can actually see the sky. Imagine. What a concept.
Yeah. And this is where I started to have problems. Auntie M enters and said, "Can't you sleep? It's past 1 o'clock in the morning, Dorothy." And then I'm like, then why are you awake? You meddling bitch. You're wearing a bustle.
I mean,
you've got
the
no
shoulders
business wearing a bustle
at 1 are camp.
Oh. In fact, if I was to say that one thing saved this film, it's the amount of shoulders. There are a lot of shoulders.
So many shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah, Little Dorothy. I think Little Dorothy's also in like daytime clothes as well.
Is she not in what's it fucking called?
Or like a nightdress.
A nightie.
Maybe she is. Okay.
I don't know.
Regardless, she's played
not
by...
in a bustle and a corset.
Maybe Aunt Em's got business to do in the evenings.
Oh.
Yeah.
This pod supports sex workers, okay.
Good for Aunt Em. Dorothy played by a young Firuza Balk. This is her first film.
That sounds like a Willy Wonka thing.
She's also in the Tim Curry Worst Witch.
Oh, does she play
the worst witch? The titular witch.
I will say, she did a lot of bottom lip acting.
Blip acting? No.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
bottom lip acting. She's also in The Craft. She's one of them...
How did she get booked? She must have had a good agent.
Mm. She's good at doing a witch, apparently.
Yeah, clearly.
She's got a type.
Yeah.
And then Aunt Em and Uncle Henry are discussing this advert that they've got in the paper, which is...
Yeah, a headline I did not expect. Like, he's just got his newspaper open and then it goes, boom, electric healing. And I was like, I'm sorry? She needs a nap, not torture. It's been 6 months since a tornado hit. 6 months since major trauma. And they're like, she's not sleeping through the night. Better almost kill her.
Zap the bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Give
her a minute.
Uncle Henry's like, we can't afford this. And then Aunt Em's like, my sister's going to pay for it. And I'm like, is that Dorothy's mum? Or...
Oh, yeah.
Aunt
I
other?
Guess.
It's weird.
It's very weird.
Yeah. And then she's like...
If you can't pay for it, maybe spend money on rebuilding your actual house.
So the next day, Toto's chasing some chickens, and Dorothy picks one up and she says...
She wishes on a shooting star. That's important.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, none of this is important, let's be honest.
At the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter.
And she picks up the one ginger chicken in the whole pack. And is like, Bellina, you need to lay some eggs, otherwise you're going to be fucking killed.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, okay.
And then I had to rewind, because this chicken throws her a key. with its beak. And I had to be
Yes.
like, hang on a second, did they really do that?
My favourite thing with the key is she picks it up and she pokes out some dirt with a stick and she sees that it's got some letters on it. And she goes,
she?
Oh.
It's a circle with a line through it, simmer down.
Well, she goes, O, Z. And then she pauses for a very long time. It's a good 10, 15 seconds. And then she goes, R's. And I'm like, it's not a hard word to spell, Feruza. Please, it's 2 letters.
I forgot the girl was called Feruza. I thought you were talking about the chicken. Feruza. Who names a child Feruza?
Mr. and Mrs. Bulk. Is it Bulk? Is it Balk? Balk! I don't know, I've never met her. Anyway, Aunt M is like, you haven't slept a whole night through in 6 months and you're no help to me on the farm because you're too tired. And I'm like, she was no help in the first film.
I'm also like, oh, so this is about you. I see. And then Dorothy's like, poor Uncle Henry has broken his leg. And she's like, oh, Dorothy, that leg's mended. I'm like, are you a doctor, Emily?
Emily's grasp of, like, medicine is questionable. She's like, right, why is my husband not running a marathon right now? And why is my niece not being electrified as we speak?
Yeah, I think she's the villain of the piece, quite frankly.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm not.
You're not at all. And then they trot off in their horse and carriage.
And they leave Toto.
Dorothy's wearing a very camp hat.
Oh, I didn't notice that, but I'm sure. Escape artist Toto jumps out the window.
Escape artist Toto.
Oh, runs after her, and she's like, no, fuck off, Toto. And he makes this little, like, and I was like, no, Toto! If he'd come with her, we wouldn't have had this fucking annoying chicken the whole time.
I love that Toto has changed breeds. And like they've worked really hard to get an actress who looks quite similar to Judy Garland, even though she's like 6 years younger. But
I guess she's got big eyes.
Big eyes and brown hair.
I mean, if we've learned anything from Daisy Ridley, it's that there's lots of white brunette actresses who are not that good.
But the fact that there's a dog, which I don't want to sound like a dog bigot, but like if you get a same breed of a dog, it'll look quite similar.
Wow.
But like they just like, no, we're not going to go for even the same breed of dog.
No.
We're not even going to make an effort. It's only in it for 10 seconds.
It was the same genre of dog.
Small and yappy.
Small and yappy, my least favourite kind of dog. Because they can be bitey too.
They're in their little horse and cart. They drive through the town of Franklin, and Dorothy goes, I've never been past Franklin before. And I was like, you literally went over a rainbow. This is the whole thing. Oh, so you admit that it's made up. All right, then.
if the credits had just started rolling.
You could have saved yourself a lot of bother.
Yeah. Walter. We'll get to him in a second. Fucking hell.
Who's Walter?
The director.
Oh, I see. Okay. I thought you meant the evil Dr. Creepy Man.
No, I'm talking about Walter Murch?
Mulch?
Who directed...
Elvira Gulch.
He directed one feature film in his whole life, and I was like, good. Don't give him any more.
It's a shame it had to be this one.
Yeah. His other thing is like Apocalypse Now. I'm like, ooh.
He does a lot of like editing and sound design and things. He's done very well in that regard. He's got a few Oscars.
I mean, you do sound design on this.
That is a reach, but okay. A US Club 7? Because that was a reach. And then they go to the creepy doctor, and he's like, well, this is the age of enlightenment. Or, I don't think it is, but he's
also,
like,
it's
nearly
Yorkshire?
1900. There's a lot of moors.
Yeah, and the house looks like...
I've never been to Kansas, but
no,
like...
the house they go to where the doctor is like a fancy Birmingham house.
Oh.
That's a very specific type of, like, but...
Is there such a thing as a fancy Birmingham house?
There is. When you're on, like, these suburbs of Birmingham, there's very fancy houses.
Okay.
Yeah, near
Well, I
where
stand corrected.
Ozzy lived. Osborne.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, he's our thing.
My dog's called.
Your dog's called Ozzy?
Yeah.
Oh, cute.
And I was like, did you mean my dog? But obviously you didn't.
No.
Anyway, he's like, it's electricity. It's the dawn of a new century. In a few months' time, it's going to be 1900. And we're going to use that electricity to shut you up.
Yeah, and they do make... The one thing I don't get about this is she is a child. And, like, they say things like, and you're saying this lion could talk? About the cowardly lion. And she's like, yeah, all the animals in Oz could talk. And the face on M. pulls. Like she cannot believe this child is talking about talking animals. I'm like, that's their whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, children do that.
Well, to be fair to Aunt M, I don't think she signed up to be a parent.
Yeah. And in fairness...
She's been saddled with this child.
The story about the Tin Man is a lot more grisly than I remember. Like, Dorothy's like, he cut off his arm, and then he cut off his other arm, then he cut off his fucking head. And I was like, okay. Ooh.
Yeah, they don't talk about it in the Judy Garland film, but that is in the book, how the Tin Man comes to be.
When I say this is fanfic, I think I might be right, because I was looking up the books, and the books seem way more fucked up. And I feel like Walter was like, these are brilliant! And it's like,
If anything, the Judy Garland film was fanfic. This is much more...
What, in that they inserted more queer characters?
Yes. I'm thinking this whole electroshock therapy is a metaphor.
Well, when I was doing some research, because I was like, someone has written a critique of this film, let me find it. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of, like, articles about how this film is really bad for its representation of various mental health problems, and as soon as I read that at the start, I couldn't not see it. There are so many bits where I'm like, oh no, it's really bad. But yeah, electroshock therapy. It's not good.
Yeah. Fun fact, conversion therapy is still legal in the UK.
But happy Pride!
And then, we've got the bloody blonde girl of destiny in the mirror.
Yeah, what was this? Is this when she gives her a pumpkin? No, that's later. That's later. The pumpkin's later.
That's later.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's just there in the mirror, like, hiya.
Yeah. Hi. And then Dorothy asks the doctor, does it hurt? And the doctor replies, oh, no, it manages electrical currents. And I'm like, crucially, not the question she asked, but okay. That's a very different response to the question she asked. Oh, fine.
You evade that terrified girls, please.
Yeah.
And then we meet the camp nurse. She's like, I see your shoulder game, Aunt Em. I'm going to raise you even more shoulders.
Up to her fucking ears. They were massive. I loved them. Also, why is this house gorgeous? But in a very old-style way, but, like, very beautifully furnished. Mm-hmm. They take it upstairs. Did you run out of wallpaper? What's going on? Why is it completely, like, creep? Why did you design it creepy? I mean, I know that's the point. I know it's a film. But also, like, you have the money.
It very quickly goes from American Horror Story Season 1 into Season 2. Like, through a door.
Yeah.
It's like, how do we signpost that this is an asylum?
Yeah.
Stonework and screaming.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a lot of questions about this, but I feel like we'll get to it later, because I had some questions I didn't think were answered, but I may be wrong.
You're probably right.
Yeah, she takes Dorothy's little lunchbox off her, and is like, you won't need that, and puts it on a gurney. I'm like, sure, but it's her property, so, you know.
I love the concept of a lunch pail. I'm like, did they just give children buckets with sandwiches in?
I'd love a bucket of sandwiches. So many sandwiches.
And then they shut her in a room.
Yeah, creepy room.
Yeah. There's a storm brewing outside.
Yeah.
And
kid with a pumpkin.
Blonde girl of destiny.
Yeah.
She's she appears with a
Yeah.
pumpkin and is like, "Happy Halloween."
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sure this won't come up again.
Yeah, and then they're like, she's like, why did they bring you here, Dorothy? Dorothy? And Dorothy's like, because I can't sleep. And I'm like, also because you're a fucking idiot. And your first question wasn't, how do you know my name's Dorothy? She also brushes the pumpkin's hair.
She gets, that's my next thing. She gets a comb and she just like scrapes it down the pumpkin.
I'm really worried I'm a minute away from saying that she deserves to be shocked. She doesn't, but she's acting like a fool.
She is.
Yeah.
She's well, we knew she was an idiot and a liability.
Yeah.
Hey ho. And then creepy nurse shoulder lady
Yes.
is like, would you like to go for a ride? And then they strap her down on a stretcher.
And she's like, do you need to do this? And she's like, excuse you, yes I do. You might run away and fall off. You might roll off like a log.
She probably would. She's like, well, I came here on a horse and carriage and I didn't fall off. And she's like, yes, but you weren't being zapped with electricity while you were on the horse.
I've just realised who I want to play this evil nurse. Tilda Swinton,
In the remake?
of course, from Snowpiercer.
Well, I think Tilda Swinton from Snowpiercer should be in every film.
Oh, yeah.
You see your dead father, Simba. That's your fault, that is. Go ahead. Make me day.
I would love it so much. It'd be amazing. She was like, I'm just going to have to tie you to this here gurney. It'd be beautiful. You might fall off.
You wouldn't put a child on a stretcher and not tie it down.
Can I put some electricity on your head?
And she wheels her in.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, let's warm up the bits.
Sorry?
I don't know what the word is for like the little headphones full of power.
The metal bits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, we need the lunatics downstairs to run more quickly so we can get more power.
Yeah. And then there's a power
that's what
cut.
they're doing. There is, and they're like, shit. Oh.
Yeah.
We can't abuse this child properly.
Yeah.
You go to the generator and I'll go and check on the other patients.
Yeah. Dorothy starts hearing the screams. Like, she's kind of heard stuff before, but it's like loud now.
Yeah.
There's
quite some good like camera angles and things. Like when she's being wheeled down, you just like hear the rickety rackety, and then you see like just the lights ahead.
It's
like,
very well, not very. It's a little bit German expressionism. You know, when those films are really like angles and shit. Very creepy, atmospheric.
Little bit Kubrick.
Yes. This is a bit I didn't get. I made a note of it and forgot about it, and it doesn't actually play any part in the film. But the machine starts working by itself. Like one of the little cogs starts shifting by itself at one point.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. It just kind of flickers a bit, and I'm like, what's that got to do with anything? Is the implication that, spoiler alert, she drowns and imagines it, or that she does get electroshocked and imagines it?
I think the implication is that what I interpret it, is that she was really there. Like it was a lot less, this was a dream than the first one.
Okay, so I thought she sort of half drowned and sort of imagined it, and then gets washed up. Spoiler alert. Or that they do actually, like that awful film Sucker Punch, where they're about to lobotomize someone, and then she has this amazing dream that she escapes, and then in the end they just lobotomize her.
Oh,
yeah.
I haven't seen that, but no,
I haven't seen it either. I just read the plot one time and went, no.
Also, there's a whole bit where they're like, this machine is like a little happy face.
Yeah.
Like, ooh.
What was the point in that if it wasn't then going to be used as like, I don't know.
Is it meant to be like TikTok? Not the social network, but
Oh, maybe.
The character.
Oh, so maybe the fact that it was, like, quivering a little bit is, like, is not that important, but it's, like, alluding to what's going to come next.
Potentially. I don't know if we're just reading too much into this terrible, terrible film.
Yeah, I don't know who gave Walter Murch any confidence, but take it back, it's not his.
He's like, I've been on a film set.
Yeah.
Bless him. And then like Blonde Girl of Destiny runs in and like frees Dorothy, and they run off to the river.
Yeah, and she's like, the patients who've been damaged are in the cellar, and I was like, oh, that's a gross way of explaining what's happened.
And the nurse chases them.
Yeah. And
it's very scary.
It is very scary. And then she ends up... So they fall in the river, because it's like raining and thunder and lightning, and they fall in this rapidly moving river. And evil bitch nurse is like howling on the edge of the river, but I'm not entirely sure it's because the children are going to die. I think she's worried she's not going to be able to watch. Like, she's probably...
She seems very, like, invested.
Yeah, she's like, get the kids! And I'm like, she's not having a great time, is Dorothy.
No. She climbs inside a little wooden crate.
Yes.
And then, as she does in big moments of peril, falls asleep.
Famously, yes.
She does it later as well. And then she wakes up, and there's a clock in.
And it's fucking Bellini, or whatever her name is.
Bellina.
Same
close,
thing.
very close.
Cluck gal.
And she's now speaking in like a southern twang. She's fairly camp.
Was she supposed to be the comedy relief, light relief or whatever of the film?
I was like, oh, you're just the Toto who can speak.
Yeah, but there were so many times when they were in actual peril, and the chicken would be like, ah ha ha, and not my carton of eggs, and I'd be like, this is not the time. I'm feeling very scrambled. Stop it.
And then they're in the crate is in like a little tiny puddle in the middle of a desert.
Yeah. This film spent all its budgeting on green screens, I swear.
Very much so. Not even good ones.
No. Like, they're in a desert, but, I mean, they're like, if this is the land of Oz, then this is the deadly desert. And I was like, well, good thing you're right next to a bit that's not desert, like an entire Jane Austen meadow.
Oh, yeah.
Like, good thing there is no risk for you at all.
She's got to jump across, like, 3 stones.
Yeah, and she's safe.
And there's, like, jaunty music being like, oh, she's gonna trip. I was like, she's not, we're 10 minutes in. Yeah. Like, if...
Oh, please.
The deadly desert, if you fall into it, you turn into sand.
Yeah. NC, feed.
And there's, like, some creepy faces on the rocks.
There's a nasty rock, which is my gender. There was too much time spent with the rocks passing messages around. It's very laboured. It was some lovely
stop motion, though.
It was, but I just feel like we didn't need to get the go-between, you know?
No.
There's so much of the rock travelling.
Yeah. And then she goes to the lunch pail tree.
Yes.
It's a tree of lunch pails. And she's like, make sure you pick a ripe one, Dorothy. And she's like, one for now, and one for later. I was like, that's wise. Get some more. For snacking. Just stay here.
Yeah, why are you moving? You know, at the very end, I mean, I feel like I'm ruining it. Oh, no one cares. When the guys, the big stone boy is like, you did all this for Scarecrow? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, then you're a fucking idiot. You almost died multiple times for the creepiest looking motherfucker I've ever seen.
Oh my, we will get to that.
Yeah, sorry, I'm jumping
Jesus
ahead.
Christ.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to talk about that yet.
Okay, sorry, we'll work up to it. I'm sorry, I was wrong to jump that on you. That trauma.
And then we do have like the little rock go-between, which is I enjoyed this bit, and it's like, Your Majesty, Dorothy Gale has returned to Oz, and she's brought with her a chicken, and there's like the biggest earthquake, like a chicken. And I'm like, this is not the setup you think it is.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's such an anticlimax, but hey, a chicken.
And Dorothy finds her old house, and she's like, here's where I killed a bitch. And Bluey's like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are you so proud of this?
Yeah, they find the yellow brick road.
And it's all in bloody pieces.
Yeah, and it's all like undulating and like, you know, like an old road is. But she starts running along it, and I'm like, you're gonna break your ankle. Stop it. I was so worried. The amount of times I was just like, stop it. No, stop it. No.
And then there's, she's running down the road, and then there's a 10-second cutaway where, like, The Rock's like, she won't get past Mombi. And then 10 seconds later, she's at the Emerald City, and I'm like, you spent the whole of the first film getting here.
Yeah.
How did you run to here in 10 seconds?
Also, The Rocks are like, well, so many characters in this film are like conniving to like make sure she doesn't do what she has to do. And I'm like, I cannot stress enough that this is a child. Like the first film, you could just kill her. I'm not saying it would be the right thing to do. I'm just saying there are ways and means.
I mean, there are tens and tens of people who are conspiring to stop Dorothy from literally reaching the most hard-to-reach place in the land of Oz, and they all fucking fail. And I'm like, you are inept.
Because at no point do they just snap her neck.
Stop locking this girl in towers and just stab her.
Oh, God! I don't want her to die, just like I didn't want her to be shocked. I'm just saying, she could be.
Because, like, there's no need for her. Like, they don't need Dorothy to do anything.
No. Oh,
they don't use her for any evil gain.
Exactly, like, it kind of makes sense, like, the Wicked Witch of the West kept her alive because she needed the slippers.
Yeah.
So she wanted to see if there was a way to keep her alive and get the slippers. But
yeah.
But you have no reason not to stab her in the face. Queer's gone by. Really said stab a child in the face. But only if they're Dorothy Gale.
Anyway, she's in the Emerald City and it's all in ruins. And there's like the Tin Man's turned to stone.
Yeah. We
the
see
Lion's Stone.
I'd like to point out that we see the OZ of the official Oz insignia, and it looks fuck all like the key. So,
well, maybe should have had an easier time spelling it if it had been properly written out.
Yeah, it's true. No, but it's a circle with a Z in the middle of it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it.
O-Z.
O-Z.
This, is it the place I've been non-stop talking about for 6 months?
Oz.
And then she sees some graffiti that says "Beware the Wheelers," and I was like, "Damn fucking right, beware the Wheelers," because I remembered this shit. I did, and I heard you hear some squeaky wheel noises, and I'm like, I will never sleep again.
I had to put on my big girl boots, because if there's one thing I cannot be dealing with, it's people who move like animals or on all fours. I just can't.
That's fair.
I hate it. Like the horse girl. You know, the one who runs like a horse?
The horse girl! I want her to be a guest for Horse Girl Summer.
I want her to stay the fuck away. I hate it. I have so many questions about the Wheelers. Is now the right time to ask them?
Well, there's they build up the tension for the Wheelers.
Okay,
There's a little stone circle of dancing ladies.
Because someone's been watching The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe.
Crucially, they're all headless, but like that's very minor. And then we see the Wheelers.
Yeah. Oh, and this is the bit where the fucking Bellini chicken's like, they've lost their heads. That's just plain careless. You're going to die. No other film has ever brought up such severe anxiety in me. Like, not since... Have you seen Brazil?
Yeah, with a stretchy face.
Yeah, where Michael Palin puts on a baby mask. I have never been so tense since that film. Oh, God. Sorry, I interrupted. You were saying about the Wheelers.
How would you describe the Wheelers?
Awful. There we go.
Okay.
Or,
They're like very long,
weird
lanky boys.
Hippie punk, like the same awful energy as people who are really into cyberpunk. Not cyberpunk. Yeah,
no, it's very like goth cyberpunk.
Oh yeah, what's it called? Steampunk. That's what.
Cybergoth.
Yeah, it's got very that energy.
They've got these like masks over their heads, and then because they're on all fours with wheels instead of extremities, like hands and feet, and then they're on all fours, and you see this horrible like mask, and they've got this kind of like wire hair. It's like electrical cabling.
Yeah. I had a question. What are they? Are they just people who have a fucking stupid way of transporting themselves, or are they actual like transhuman cyborg things?
I think they are like a race of people who just have wheels for hands and feet.
Oh yes, because I googled this. Apparently, the wheels are made out of the same thing like nails are. Like is it keratin? Yeah.
No, I genuinely feel a bit sick.
It's horrible, right? It's horrible.
Luckily, they're not in this film, just in the books.
Yeah.
They've got like actual like hubcaps. I was like, that's a nice touch.
I felt so sorry for these actors. Like, at one point, one of them gets a moment to shine, the one who gets captured later on, and he is giving it too much. And I was like, you know what? I would too. I'd try and ruin this film too. Because I think they have these long kind of, they're coats that remind me a bit of, like, hippie, pearly men? Is that what they're called? Pearly?
Oh, like Pearly Kings?
Yeah, but, I mean, there's no pearls, but you know what I mean? Like, that same, like, big coat vibe.
They reminded me, have you ever seen the TV series, I think it's called The Tribe? It's like, I think it's a New Zealand TV series.
Oh, wait, yes.
A plague that's wiped out all the adults. And I was like, that would never happen in New Zealand. They're far too good at this.
They have a female Prime Minister. She's great.
And then all the children like descend into anarchy and wear really weird clothes. And they're kind of like these like tie-dyed, jackety, jumpsuity things.
Yeah, that's a better way of describing them. And I think they were on actual wheels on their feet. I mean, I'm sure they had like stabilizer bits on them that we couldn't see.
Yeah.
At one point, there's definitely a wheeler just wandering around in a fight scene, and I was like, you couldn't afford wheels for him. And then I think they've got really long jacket arms. They put their arms in it, and then there's like a stick that they can hold on to, so they can wheel their arms. But I realised that too late in the film, and I was already freaked out.
I feel like any description that we give of them will not justify how horrible they are to look at. So listeners, you just need to Google it. Just Google Wheelers Oz.
Yeah.
And they've got like eyeliner as well.
They're kind of camp. In fact, I found a description of them from the book, and they were described as creatures of a strange race which were born in this queer fashion. And I was like, yes. I mean,
you don't see any female Wheelers that we know of?
No.
I'm assuming they were all men. They did look like they were all men.
Yeah. I know I noticed there was one woman, but she was definitely playing a guy. Like, they'd I was like, aha, I see you. Or maybe a non-binary femme, who knows?
Oh. They also honk like geese, which I thought was awful.
Yeah, that was a choice. So many choices were made, and we spent about 10 minutes talking about these creatures.
Anyway, they corner her in like this little alleyway.
Yeah.
And there's a little hole in the wall next to her, and I'm like, I know what you need to do here. I'm like, why are the Wheelers so slow? Again, they could just like race up to her and kill her.
This is what happens when you get a theatrical gay to do a busy lesbian's work. Like, they might as well be West Side Storying down the corridor, like, when you're a jet, you're... It's so stupid. They're approaching so slowly, whereas Miss Trunchbull would have just strode over and whipped her pigtails around.
Slammed her against the wall by hair. And she gets the key and she unlocks this stone door and like shuts herself in this little room.
Yeah.
And the Wheeler's like through the door like, we're gonna get you and your little chicken too. The Gnome King doesn't allow chickens. And I'm like, again, this is not the setup you think it is.
Yeah. It's just a bit too stupid. And I like stupid. But this is too much.
And then she's in the little room and she sees a little metal man, and it's like, this is the Army of Oz, and I'm like, disband it. But he's got little cogs that are for thinking and speaking and then doing actions, and they're guaranteed to work for 1,000 years. except when they don't.
Yes.
Several times.
This was definitely a metaphor for something, but I don't care to find out what.
No. He's quite cute, to be fair. He's got a little moustache.
Yeah, he's cute.
And cute eyes, and he's like a little circle. And he waddles.
When he's gilded at the end, is it gilded? Is that right? When he's super shiny.
He's so shiny.
He's so shiny. We're like magpies.
And then she winds him up, and then he's like, I was put here by the Scarecrow, who was told to wait for Dorothy Gale, which is you.
Yeah.
And he sent the key on a shooting star to get to you. Great time, we're here. Let's get fucking going.
Yes.
And they get fucking going. They go outside.
Crucially, she has chosen the loudest person to help her in an abandoned ruin.
It's like clank, 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 clank.
Also, question. They maintain in this film that Scarecrow is the King of Oz or something. Is that established in the last film?
I think it's established definitely in the books.
Okay.
Like, since the wizard and like, where the fuck is Glinda?
Is there an election?
Well, no, because he's a king.
But you can't just...
Abolish the monarchy.
I mean, at least call him, like, a dictator. That would be more accurate. Like, he's not a king. Fuck, this pissed me off.
No.
Like everything else in this fucking film.
And then the Wheelers come, and TikTok just, like, spins around and twats them with the lunch pails.
This is another thing. TikTok's like to Dorothy. He's about to attack the Wheelers, and he's like, you run up the stairs. I'll take care of them. And it should have been, you run up the stairs because they have wheels and can't go down stairs.
I don't know why she decided to run into this alleyway in the first place. Like, just stand in the middle of the steps and be like, fuck you all.
Yeah.
Come and get me, cunts.
Theme. That's another place they could have ended the film.
And then they get the last remaining Wheeler, and it's like, tell us what's going on.
And he's like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, fucking hell.
Something about Princess Mombi.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he leads them to Princess Mombi.
Who is conveniently located next door.
You would poke your head out and be like, what's all this clanging going on, please?
Yes. Oh. They go to a very...
She's just sitting there playing the fucking lute.
She looks like David Bowie from Labyrinth.
In that ballroom thing.
Yeah, it's very
like
beautiful.
a whole mirrored room.
I loved it. It's lovely. Also, like, I would like to know the motivations for anything that happens from this point onwards. But especially about Princess Mombi. Like...
Yeah, what about it?
She's so... Right, so, it's trickery. I hasten to say gay trickery. But she, like... She's, like, really nice to Dorothy, and then she puts on another head and says, I'm gonna... okay, I feel like we need to explain more. She's really nice to Dorothy and is like, I have to change into something better, and, like, leads Dorothy through the little... There's no implication that she's in any danger. Then she gets into her, like, head wardrobe of very similar white lady heads.
Mm.
And I get the feeling they got this actress and then found out she was really shit, so they wrote this in. Like, oh, sorry, we're going to have to get someone with another head. And she swaps her head round and then is like, Dorothy, I'm going to cut off your head. I think I've explained that right.
You would be quite striking. I'm not going to say you're pretty, but I'm going to take your head anyway, because I want to have a weird-looking child head at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain. I think, no, I'm not even going to try. She's got different heads and it's creepy. Also, I remember, because later on, in like 10 minutes, spoiler alert, the same person who plays the nurse plays, like, main Mombi.
Yes.
And there's a bit early on, because I remember that Mombi had different heads. Auntie M says to Dorothy, remember to do everything the head nurse tells you to do.
Did she deliver it like that?
And like, the head nurse tells you to. Yeah. Yes! She knows!
Wow. I have a really...
She's read the script.
Based on my weird research I did earlier, I am fairly certain this is a really shitty, like, dissociative identity disorder illusion. Yeah. This Walter Murch thinks he's Trisha Paytas. He's not getting away with it.
And then Mommy's like, I'm going to steal your head. And Bellina's like, I don't fucking think so.
Yeah.
Oh, no, she goes, I believe I will take your head when you're ready. And then Dorothy goes, I believe you will not. And I'm like,
yeah.
Davina De Campo found rotting.
I don't think. Decapitate me and put me in a cupboard. I don't think.
And then she's like, well, you'll pay for that. I'm going to lock you in this tower anyway.
And everyone's like, no.
And she's like, TikTok, help me. And he's like, oh, unfortunately, my 1,000-year wind-up guarantee of my action has stopped working.
What he says is, he's like, I'm coming. And I'm like, well, you're coming fucking slowly, aren't you?
Clank, clank, clank.
Clank,
Oh,
clank.
no, I can't move anymore.
Yeah. Then we meet yet another fucking character.
Oh, well, she's looking at this nice little picture of the Tin Man and the Lion and the Scarecrow. I mean, I feel like they're propping their feet up on the lion. Because she has to look very far down to see the lion. I'm like, they were all the same height in the first one. Oh yeah, the lion in this is like an animated puppety lion. He's not like a man in a lion costume.
Yeah.
Just in case anybody still cares.
In case anyone wrote in to complain to us.
And then there's he goes, Mom? And I'm like, no, get out.
I don't want to kink shame, but I'm here to shame your kink.
And then she meets Jack Pumpkinhead, and I'm like, I see what you're doing, L. Frank Baum, who wrote the Wizard of Oz books. People enjoyed the Scarecrow. They had a great time. It doesn't mean you have to write another one.
Yeah.
Just like people enjoyed the Tin Man, doesn't mean you have to write TikTok.
Yeah. He's just a creepy little man, and he keeps, he establishes that she is not her mum, and then he waits a good minute before checking that he can indeed still call her mum, and I was like, no, you can't do that. That's not okay. She's, 10?
11.
Yeah.
She's very small. And he's like, my mum built me as, to scare Mombi. I'm like, okay, so a scarecrow. And put, a pumpkin on his head, and then...
If they can
it didn't
build
work, but...
walking tin armies, couldn't she build, I don't know, a tank?
And then Mombi uses her dust of life, is that what it's
Powder
called?
of life.
Powder of life. Sorry, I'm so sorry. To bring him to life.
Yeah.
And then forgot about it because she hasn't worn that head for a while.
Which...
And I'm like,
I have...
why?
Does she forget when she puts on a new head what she's done in the old head?
We see that she can play the lute with two heads, at least.
Yeah.
So I'm like, weird. And the Powder of Life is in Cabinet 31, which is an arbitrary number to choose, with her main head, who is played by the nurse.
Yes.
And then he uses his hands to unpick, his little stick Jack Pumpkinhead hands to unpick the lock.
Which begs the question, why didn't he do that before?
Yeah. Well, it's because he's got no brains, has he?
Oh yeah, he's a pumpkin.
Classic. And also TikTok's like, I'm never alive and I never will be alive. And I'm like, that's like not having a heart.
Yeah.
I hope we don't get some kind of animal-based thing to round out this trio. Oh, no.
This was the worst thing I've ever seen. And I'm not just talking about the film in general, I'm talking about this fucking moose.
So they wind up TikTok and he goes up back to the tower with Jack.
Yeah.
While Dorothy goes to get the spice of life. And then they start tying together furniture and a chaise lounge and a sofa.
Yeah, and they put like leaves as the wings.
Yeah, and then they get this the head of a green moose, and they're like, it's a gump, and I'm like, sis, that's a green moose. Just call it what it is.
Yeah.
Green moose, guava juice, chocolate mousse.
Yeah, and she steals the Powder of Life, and there's a very camp scream from the head when she realises she's being stolen from. It's great.
Like the head from Art Attack, I've just remembered. I'm the head. I demand flesh. Oh, and also, meanwhile, TikTok is losing his damn mind because, thank God, his 1,000-year cog for thinking has run out.
Is that when he's just walking around in a circle?
He's just walking around going like, there's pumpkins and heads and chickens and shit. And I'm like, yes, Queen.
Is that when...
She's drunk.
He's... The pumpkin head's like, if his brain's run down, then how does he talk? And Dorothy's like, people do that all the time. And I'm like, stop writing 10-year-olds like your weird fucking think piece. I just...
Well, to be fair, though, it's a good parallel from the first film when the Scarecrow's like, where she's like, if you have no brains, how do you talk? And the Scarecrow goes, some people without brains do an awful lot of talking.
Is it a parallel, or is it just copying?
Control and C.
Yeah. So yeah, she's running around trying to escape the headless Mombi,
yeah.
sorry. And then a fog shows her where to go. Who is blonde.
Oh, yeah.
It's really fucking obvious that that's blonde girl.
And she's in the mirror like, go this way.
Yeah.
And they put the magic powder on this gump,
and it comes to life.
They say the magic words, and she's like, I don't know what these words are. And I'm like, then sound it out. Use some phonetics. Like, it's not difficult.
Yeah.
Or to be fair, W-E-A-U-G-H. I don't really know.
W what?
It's spelled W-E-A-U-G-H.
Wah.
Wah? What does that say, Anaya? Wah? Wah? No, Anaya.
What is that from?
That's a vine.
Oh.
It's she goes weog, teog, peog, and then the magic words wake him up, and the gum goes peog. I pissed myself.
I think I was distracted at this point. I don't remember a single thing about this bit.
Fair enough. They escape. They fly because she's seen the Gnome King's mountain. She's seen a mountain. She's like, that's for the Gnome King, and I'm like, again, S Club 7, stop reaching.
Yeah.
And then they fly just straight ahead.
The last thing I've got is that Mumby is like, bring back that chicken, and I'm like, oh, that's your that's your priority.
Again, this is not a setup.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And she's like, get the Wheelers to go after them.
From this point onwards, apart from the sleigh, from this point onwards, the chicken is in the pumpkin head. And I'm pretty sure it's because everything gets a bit rocky from here on out, and I think they couldn't be bothered to train a chicken to, jump around some rocks, so we just put it in the pumpkin. Who amongst us hasn't put a chicken in a pumpkin?
Yes. Does he, put a chicken in a pumpkin? And then, it's obviously because there's no such thing as adrenaline when you've just escaped someone who wants to behead you. Dorothy's like, oh, I'm so sleepy.
Sleepy time.
Thank God I'm on a sofa. Night, night, everybody. And Jack goes, night, Mom. And I'm like, stop it, please.
Stop it. Also, I mean, she is the child in this situation. I know she's the only one who seems like an adult, but, she's allowed to have a little nap.
I also, to be fair, Mombi is of the same ilk because she's back to playing her lute, and she's like, "I a bitch in the mirror, Ozma, you're fucked."
Yeah, and I was watching it like, wait, what's going? I don't care. I feel like we're supposed to be intrigued, but I just don't care.
I like, speaking of elections and stuff in Wicked, I think Ozma is used as president, which is quite interesting.
Hang on, what?
Ozma something or
oh,
Ozma
I see.
else.
I get what you mean. Yeah, okay. Very interesting.
But the wizard overthrows the Ozmas and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really. I'd recommend that book to everybody. And then they fly over the deadly desert,
and the
Wheelers chase them.
Yeah. Use TikTok like a bowling ball. Throw them out.
And then the Wheeler turns to sand, and then my favourite quote that I think about all the time is just one of the Wheelers in the background goes, "Deadly desert, deadly desert," and then they run away.
These poor actors. Yeah, so then they reach...
Dorothy wakes up.
Yeah. Oh, there's a bit where they almost die.
Oh yeah, they drop Jack Pumpkin's head,
yeah,
and they catch it, and then they crash on the mountain.
Yeah.
and then they're like, oh, the Gump's all in pieces. We've got to put him back together. And I remembered from my research in the book, at the end, spoiler alert, when everything comes right, the Gump's like, as a reward, can you please kill me?
What?
The Gump's like, I do not wish to be alive in this state.
I mean, you wouldn't,
End me.
would you?
I am a sofa with palm leaves on it. I don't want to be alive.
That's so upsetting. That's awful. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're like, they strap him to a chaise lounge against his will just so he can do a bit of walking.
Yeah.
And then the Gnome King appears on the mountain.
Yes.
And it's like, what's going on here then, please?
Mm-hmm. He's asking some very valid questions.
I am very much on Team Gnome King. I'll get to it in a second.
I'm on team, this film should never have been made.
That's a worthy team to be on. And then Dorothy's like, can I have the Scarecrow back, please? And the Gnome King's like, so, you think I've stolen the Scarecrow? If someone steals something, they should give it back, right? And Dorothy's like, yeah. And he's like, ha ha ha, I'm going to laugh so much an earthquake happens and teach you about colonialism.
Well, actually, she is like, we're here with our army to conquer you and force you to give it back. And I was like, imperialism apologist Dorothy Gale. We're gonna take something. I don't know. I guess he took something before. What is history?
He laughs so much that there's an earthquake and Dorothy falls into this ravine. Mm-hmm. And then she's like floating through time and space. And he's like, I make every gem in Oz in my mines. Some cunt came and stole me emeralds and made them into a city. And I was like, okay, it's the British Museum.
But
I'm
also,
on board.
Make more emeralds if you make them in your mind.
Mine.
Oh, that makes sense. Again.
I thought you were going to be a big, like, imperialist apologist.
No. And also, she's like, you have so much, though. And he's like, that's not the point. I was like, this is just having a conversation with any conservative. But very valid argument. That's not the point.
Well, I'm going to stick up for the Gnome King, because he made stuff, and then the fucking wizard came and was like, I'm having these. And he's like, right, I'm going to take them back then.
It's true.
And the Scarecrow.
Gnome King sounds like a distorted Stephen Fry.
Yes. I mean, yeah, he's also, like, the man at the start. But, like,
Wait,
he does, yeah, he's like, he's the man from he's the Doctor, the same guy that plays the Gnome King.
Oh. Ah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, oh yeah, and she's like, the Scarecrow didn't steal them, the emeralds were there when he started. And I was like, well, he didn't give them back, did he?
Yeah.
You could have she's just like, he didn't steal them, he was there when he became king. And I'm like, stop saying this, stop apologising for this awful man.
But also,
Scarecrow.
The Gnome King does seem to be maintaining that the Scarecrow stole the emeralds. And I'm like, yeah, because famously people who steal natural resources then turn to, like, manual labour. Like, I just don't get why he thinks the Scarecrow did it. I get your point, but why does he think the Scarecrow did it?
Well, the Scarecrow's the symbol of this monarchy.
Oh, yeah, because he's king! Ah. Ugh. I hate this film, Kate.
And then there's a horrible flash. Oh no! Oh yeah, there's a horrible flash, and we see the Scarecrow as she falls into the ravine.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, Dorothy, and I'm like, this is a nightmare.
It's horrible.
If anyone's like a film editor, I will pay you an extraordinary sum of money to re-edit this film so that this horrible Scarecrow blinks once. Just once. I'll give you all of my life savings, which, to be fair, is not much. But we can all use a bit of a cash boost, and if any film editor wants to make this horrible sack of shit blink, please do.
It's horrible. Like, they made a whole tin person who not only walks, but, like, spins. You couldn't make a Scarecrow blink.
You couldn't just put a man in makeup like the last. They did it in 1939 on a shoestring budget.
Yes.
Comparatively.
I thought it was really well paid for.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. They could have. It was an old-timey film. Okay. I don't know. And then
the Gnome King,
disappears.
after a load of like arguing, is just like, okay, chill, no worries, let's play a game. What?
Oh yeah, he's like, I've turned the Scarecrow into an ornament, and you've got to go and guess what it is.
Yet again, I'm like, just kill the child.
Don't give her any kind of like way out.
Because he doesn't seem that mad. Like, he seems mad about the emeralds, but like, he's not that. He's just like, yeah, okay, I see your point, Dorothy. You are a 10-year-old child. I wouldn't want to harm you. And then later on, it's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like, it's weird.
I think because he's like, there's no way that she's gonna guess, and I'm like, you made it so easy to guess.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get onto that, but like, the conceit of the game is nonsense.
Yes.
But yeah, he's like, go and touch an object and say Oz. And if it's right, the Scarecrow will come out.
Mm-hmm.
You get 3 goes, and if not, you'll be an ornament. Bye-bye. Off you go. And the Gump goes first.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he
Do we ever see his legs? The Gumps.
The Gump?
Yeah.
He's got it's the little legs of the chaise lounge.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he also goes, this is too much effort. I should have quit while I was ahead. And I'm like, this whole film was worth it.
Oh, I was like, I really feel that watching this film.
Meanwhile, the Gnome King makes up, like, in a similar way to the White Witch, he gives them some snacks. Conjured out of rock.
I must have been asleep at this point. I remember, though, he does a little reveal. A very camp reveal.
Oh, we will get to that.
Oh, is there more in between? Oh, fucking hell.
There's more in between.
Oh, Christ.
This is on the next page, the camp reveal.
Oh, my God.
It's like limestone pie and hot melted silver. And I'm going to say the stop motion in this bit is incredible. Because, like, with each person going in, he turns more and more human-y. I'm very impressed.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, have you seen that Jason and the Argonauts film from the 50s?
No.
And there's, like, stop motion skeletons. And it's quite, like, groundbreaking. Very good time. It's kind of that similar vein. The Gump fails it. Oh, yeah, the Gump, he doesn't tell them that, like, if they get it wrong, they'll be turned into an ornament. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, you didn't tell us that he was going to be turned into an ornament. He went, well, you didn't ask. And I'm like, yes!
Yes.
Petty gay.
Gay trickery. He also, his vibe, when like Dorothy's getting more and more upset about the fact that her friends are going to be turned into ornaments, his vibe is so, oh yeah, this really does suck. Too bad we have to play this game and there's literally no other way. I'm like, what's happening?
And then Jack goes in to guess.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Mombi is on her way to the Gnome King.
Yes.
Her chariot is being pulled by the wheelers, and I'm like, yes, Queen, camp, make these men work.
Yeah.
Jack fucks it because he's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And TikTok wanders in. And then the Gnome King is like, I was just wandering around one day. I'd heard that the wizard had left or whatever. And then out of the sky fell something very exciting. And then he lifts up his little cloak, his little stone cloak. And his little stone feet have got the gorgeous, beautiful...
Stunning.
They've had an upgrade since the first one.
Got little bows.
It's the ruby slippers.
Yeah.
Bloody bows. And I'm like, to be fair, you probably made the rubies. Have them back. Grab it.
That's fair, yeah.
Keep it.
Hmm.
And the camp is so camp. And he's just there on his story like, I've got little shoes on. I'm like, yes, Queen.
Ooh. And the way he like puts them back into his cloak is very, oh no, they're mine. Oh, naughty.
Like, I could click 3 times for you if I wanted to, but I'm not going to fucking do it. And then, the stone messenger is like, and then the Gnome King's like, it seems like your TikTok friend, not your friend off, it's not doing like that kicky dance or whatever, has broken, is like just standing in the middle of the room and not moving. And she's like, oh, I forgot to wind his action since the last 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Here's 1,000-year guarantee action.
Is this about capitalism? I don't know.
Who can say?
Yeah. Yet again, he's like, oh, that sucks. If we weren't playing this game, we wouldn't be in such a conundrum. Whoa, well, I could, if I'm being really, really nice, which I am, let you go in and fix him. And I'm like, none of this... Stop acting like you're the good guy.
But she goes in. When she's like pausing, and he's like, you could just go home if you want. Like... To be fair, this is all in your mind. Yeah. You haven't got these friends that you think you've got. Just fuck off.
You're a mad little kid, aren't you?
But she goes in, and then TikTok's like, a tee-hee-hee gay trickery. Yeah. I haven't broken down, but I thought you could come and watch, because I'm on my last guess, and you could see what object I turn into when I get it wrong, if I get it wrong. And then that might help you. And she's like, what a great idea, and I will instantly forget.
Such a fucking idiot.
And then he gets it wrong.
Yeah.
And then it's like one of those games that you'd play at a party if you had no electricity. And it's like, when there's like a tray of objects, you cover it with a cloth. And you're like, which one's gone or which one's added? And she's like, fuck, I didn't check around the room to see what was there. And now I don't know what he is.
Yeah. I will say, I want this ornament room. It's very pretty.
It's a lovely time.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Mumby has arrived, and she fucking throws herself on the floor, does a big ol' ugly scream, and I was like, wow, Barbara Kellerman of the White Witch fame said 4 so you could scream. 4!
3, 4.
Because she just throws herself and is like, oh! I'm like, whoa, okay.
My favourite bit is when Mombi walks in and then the nobody goes, Neil. And I'm like, no, she's called Mombi. And then he's like, lower. And she's literally like on the floor, like face down. And he's like, lower. And she's like, I can't.
What is the relationship here? Like, what's going on?
Who can say? I think she sucked his dick once. But then he's like, nah, I'm gay. And she's not got over it.
No.
And then Mombi's like, you'll never guess who's on her fucking way. Dorothy Gale is on her way. She's got a chicken as well, watch out. And he's like, yeah.
You're a bit late.
Where have you been?
Yeah.
And then Dorothy's back in the ornament room, and she's 2 guesses down, and she's got 1 left. And she's like, I could think logically about what to do. But instead, I'm going to shut my eyes and fucking spin around.
Yeah, and then just bang into a table a couple times.
And Mombi's like, what if Dorothy finds out about Ozma? And I'm like, okay, great. Yeah. I'll just go with it.
Care.
Dorothy grabs some deer sculpture and knocks over this huge fuck off emerald. It's a huge fuck off
emerald.
I cannot stress that this is an emerald.
And she's just like,
enough.
Oh shit. Oh, and I'm like, yes.
And then so she puts the deer down and she picks up this emerald.
And
she goes, Oz, and then bam, and then horrible scarecrow's back. He's like, Dorothy!
Dorothy! I hate him. I hate this film. I hate Walter. Ugh.
And then the Gnome King's like, maybe I shouldn't have made everybody from Oz turn into something that's green.
Yeah.
Well, that's on me, I guess. Yeah. Better turn into a big rock monster and try and kill him.
He doesn't say, that's all me. He goes, ah! And tries to kill them all. Having been very blasé about the whole thing previously.
Well, he's like, I've made this game absolutely foolproof. There's no way she could win unless I've made everybody that she knows be in a recognisable colour from the land of Oz. You might as well have turned everyone into a separate yellow brick. Honestly. Yeah.
I have in my notes, eats the sleigh. What am I talking about?
He's like, I'm going to start eating you, starting with the fucking gump.
That's it!
And he grabs the chaise longue, and then they're like, oh, they found the gump and they've transformed him back.
Yeah.
And they found Jack Pumpkinhead and transformed him back.
Yeah. Yes, he
Yes,
does
that's what
eat the sleigh like a little amuse-bouche. Yes.
A moose bouche.
A moose-bouche.
Moose. And then, they keep his head. They save his head from being eaten. And then he's like, now I'm going to eat the pumpkin. And I'm like, yeah, eat the food first, you dickhead. Remember, listeners, the chicken's in the head.
Yeah. Very important.
And he's like dangling dangling the Jack Pumpkinhead above his head. And then the chicken who
famously can't lay eggs. Lays an egg.
Like shits an egg out of pure fear.
Who amongst us?
And it spirals like. Do you remember those machines not machines, but like things in McDonald's, where you'd put a coin in and it would spin round.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then plop it to the bottom, a bit like that in the pumpkin head.
Yeah.
And drops into the Gnome King's mouth, and then it goes an egg, and then all the stone people in the background are like poison.
I would suggest spitting out the egg.
Just don't swallow.
Yeah. Oi.
I'm like, okay, maybe you should have set up better that the gnomes were allergic to eggs.
Yeah.
Rather than just being like they're scared of chickens.
Otherwise, and I don't want to be harsh, but it does come across like lazy writing.
What? What?
I know Walter wouldn't play us like this, but it just seems like he didn't put any thought into this at all.
Ah, what a concept.
Seems like he's riding on those sound mixing Oscars. And the fact that he was friends with Bob Dylan in uni, apparently. I don't know.
Why is Bob Dylan not in this?
Yeah.
He could have written a fun song for the end.
Make Bob Dylan TikTok. Go on.
Why not?
Yeah.
And then the Gnome King melts away and Dorothy's magically got the ruby slippers on. And I'm like, you have a habit, Dorothy, of killing people and stealing their shoes.
Stealing their footwear.
Once as an instance, but twice as a hobby.
Yeah. And then everything's fine?
Oh, she's like, click the heels, like, I wish we were safe, and so was everyone in the Emerald City, and it was rebuilt and everything. And I'm like, that's a big leap from there's no place like home.
Yeah.
I don't know that the slippers can handle that much of a list of demands.
Also, even in, like, Aladdin, they were like, no, you can't wish for more wishes. And she's like, I wish for everything to be fine, please.
And then they're in a field, and they're like, oh shit, where's TikTok? And I'm like, what? He's a big, metal, shiny man. He's very bulbous, and you didn't realise he wasn't there. But luckily, the Gump has got a green medal on his antlers, and they're like, ours! And TikTok's there.
Oh. I didn't even get that at the time.
But then we have like a nice little Camp Emerald City bit.
Yeah, TikTok's all glossy, Bellini's on a pillow. Great time.
They're walking like a parade, and the parade is lined with wheelers. Why are they there?
The monkeys weren't there when Dorothy was going home. So why are the wheelers there?
The wheelers don't show themselves to have been enslaved, like the Winkies.
Yeah.
The wheelers are just bad men.
Yeah.
With toenail wheels.
Yeah. Dorothy lets them all down and says she can't be Queen of Oz. And I'm like, classic Dorothy. Being a massive letdown to everyone. And then we have the Ozma bit.
Oh, in the mirror.
Yeah.
She's like, let me out of the mirror, please. And she's like, sure, okay.
And I'm like, oh,
and
good. Walter, you remembered your weird asylum child that you had to bring in. This was quite like a lesbian first crush. This is the vibe I got between the two of them. Very cute.
Meanwhile, it's the whole nice moment is interrupted by Jack going, Mom! My real mom! And I'm like, okay.
She's still a child, though, so... This is just the original film on crack, because it is the 80s, so makes sense.
And then the dancing girls from before have their heads back. And they're like, here's some exposition about Ozma. And I'm like, it's too late in the day for that.
Yes. God.
You could have told me anything about this child and I'd have gone with you. Mm-hmm. Why did you think so hard about it? Doesn't matter.
Yeah. And then Ozma kind of forces Dorothy out very quickly. And I'm like, Good on
I was
you.
like, got your shoes.
Yeah.
I'm getting rid of you. Because you've got a habit for killing people and stealing their shoes.
Yeah.
I don't want the same thing to happen to me, thank you.
And Dorothy's like, oh, I didn't expect to go so soon. Looks at Ozma, and Ozma is ice cold. No change in expression. She's like, well, get on with it then.
That sounds like a you problem, Dorothy. And
sounds like you didn't plan ahead.
She's like, come on, Bellina. And Bellina's like, what? I'm going to go back to A, not being able to speak, B, not being able to lay eggs, and C, having a daily threat that I'm going to be cut up and eaten by you, Dorothy.
Yeah.
We're good. I'm
D,
staying here.
Not being on a pillow. It's a very nice pillow.
With a little sash.
Yeah, it's cute. I want to be that chicken. At one point, she gets called Mrs. Hen by TikTok, and I was like, yes, that is me. Call me Mrs. Hen. Show me some respect.
She's like, bye, Gump. Sorry we didn't fulfill your wish of killing you. Euthanasia. And then... I'm sorry, my dog's just joined me.
Yes, hello.
And then, he's gone now.
Was that a little snort he did?
Yes. I hope that picked up on the recording. He realised we were talking about a shit film. And then she's like, bye, Gump. Bye, Jack Pumpkinhead. And then she goes to TikTok. And I'm like, if you fucking dare say that you're going to miss TikTok most of all, I will scream. But luckily, she doesn't say that to him.
No.
And they get on with their lives.
Yes.
And the light swells and it's all bright. And then she's lying face down in a fucking ditch. Back in the real world.
And it feels correct.
It's where she belongs.
Yeah. And fucking Toto finds her on a GoPro camera. Oh my god, what was this camera work? Did they get a poor intern to slither along the floor with a GoPro around their head? Probably,
very likely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then Uncle Henry finds her, and Auntie Em finds her. Not once do they say you're very much a liability. Still.
No.
Stop being a liability.
Although, now this is the question I wanted to ask ages ago. So, they're standing there, hug, 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 and Evil Lady drives past in a prison on wheels, a little cage on wheels, implying that she's been arrested. Now, I know asylums back then do not conform to the standards of now, but I feel like back then they weren't doing anything legally wrong. Has she been arrested for being a bit mean?
I think it was those shoulders. They were like, you look like a wrong'un with shoulders that pointy.
So they're homophobes then. Okay.
It's the fashion police.
But honestly, like, if you can't go around arresting people for being a bit mean, because if that was the case, this podcast would have never gotten off the ground.
It's almost as if the police are corrupt.
Yes. That is something we're learning through this film and other experiences.
And then Aunt Em's like holding her, and she's like, the clinic burnt down, but everyone survived except for the doctor who rushed in to get his machines. I was like, how convenient. Did the
people in the basement survive?
Did the blonde girl of destiny release them?
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's why she's going to prison. Was that illegal? I don't think it was illegal back then. Sorry, I'm really interested in why she was going to prison.
Yeah, me too. I think she just looked a bit mean.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Lock 'em up.
She was an unmarried, middle-aged woman.
You can't just lock up lesbians.
And then she goes back home and she's like, the new house is finished. Somehow.
Yeah.
And then she looks in the mirror and Ozma and Belida are there being like, we'll always be in your heart, Dorothy. And also, whenever you look in the mirror, you'll fucking see us.
Yeah. And she screams for Auntie Em, and I'm like, have you not learned anything? They're gonna shock your face again.
She's like, Aunt Em, come and look. I've got all the whole thing, and there's a lady in the mirror. And then Ozma's like, shut the fuck up.
Shut up. You fucking idiot.
And then, like, that's the end?
She runs out and plays with Toto for a bit. It's cute.
Yeah. And then that's us done. Not a moment too soon.
Was it queer? The Gnome King is camp.
The Gnome
with his
King,
little shoes.
Yeah.
And I firmly believe those shoulders are camp.
Yes, I think the shoulders are my favourite character.
Yes. They provided most of the story.
There's a reason this isn't as beloved as the original.
Yeah, it's a horrible nightmare film.
Yes.
I did not sleep well last night, and I'm blaming this film.
Yeah. It's not a classic.
No.
I'd recommend it to people to watch it, just so they can join in the nightmareness. They can even just Google what a Wheeler is.
Do a drinking game.
Yeah.
Every time you go, oh, for fuck's sake, just take a drink.
Every time you're scared.
And you'll be dead. Yeah.
Every time you say aloud, kill that girl. Just kill her.
Just kill her.
Yeah.
Every time something seems like a really laboured metaphor for something you don't care about.
Yeah. Take a drink, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's us done.
You sound so apologetic.
I'm sorry.
That's it.
Thank you. If you've made it this far, thank you for sticking with us.
Well done, honestly.
Next week, I'm very excited.
Now that is a classic.
I'm so excited. And we've also got Tracy Tuesday on the Tuesday, so stick around for that. If you haven't subscribed yet, what's wrong with you?
What you doing?
You've got nothing else to do. You're inside all day.
Rate, review. Maybe not this one, but you know.
Tell a friend. Tell an enemy. Tell June Whitfield again.
Yes, please.
It's still June Whitfield June. It carries on. Subscribe to us. I've said that. I meant to say follow.
Yeah.
I've turned into an old person. Subscribe to us on the Instagrams and the
Can
Twitters.
you subscribe to your friend?
Do you remember Become a Fan on Facebook? Instead of like, it was Become a Fan.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're right.
At Quiz Gone By on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at KateButch1 on both.
And I'm at Caitlin Powell on Instagram and at CaitlinPWLL on Twitter.
And we shall see you next week for even more June Whitfield June.
Bye.
Bye.